Okay, so you actually touched on this in our previous episode, but in this episode, I wanted to talk about the connection between vision and action for success. So the first thing I want to talk about was, visualizing the projecting a vision, visualization. I've heard of it before, but like, are there like common mistakes or feedback that you hear, especially from people, maybe new clients that you're working with? And then let me start with that first question, because I feel like my second question is actually a bigger question. But are there common mistakes that people are making when they're visualizing? Because I feel like more of us would have achieved our dreams if we were doing it right.
Yeah, and ooh, that's something to unpack right there. I was holding your question. I'm like, oh, she's going to ask a second question. I'm going to have to hold these in my mind. So thank you for letting me answer this one first.
Yes.
So common mistakes. Number one, if you did listen to the last segment, awesome sauce. And if you didn't, go back and listen to it, because I'm going to just build onto it and assume that you heard it. But one of the common mistakes is not connecting emotion and feelings into your vision. So it's really easy to say, I want $1 million business, and I'm going to bring on, 20 clients at X amount of dollars, $50,000. I don't even know, that will get me there. Right.
Yeah.
And never achieve it. Right. You could just say it and it will never be achieved.
Right.
For one, if you're only thinking about a dollar amount when you visualize, you're thinking way too small, because I truly believe that we've been put on this planet to do something amazing. And a dollar amount is really kind of a way to measure if you're making progress, but it's not the end game. So the end game shouldn't be that dollar amount. It should be who you're going to impact, how you're going to impact them, what changes are you making in this world. But if you're not tying emotion to that, you're going to have a really hard time. Number two, just making a vision board once a year is never going to cut it. Like, you might see slight movement in the direction of where you're going, but it's not going to cut it. And so on that same line, your company or you might be doing strategic planning, but only doing it once a year. Or you might be doing goal setting or New Year's resolutions. The reason they fail is because you only do them once a year. Like, let's shift that right now. Right. So your visualization needs to happen frequently, like just as frequently as you take a shower, rinse and repeat. You're going to visualize. Your vision can change. It's mutable. It's okay if it makes adjustments as you go, because you'll notice that you are progressing in the work that you're doing if you start visualizing more regularly. Another common mistake is accidentally infusing hardship into your vision. And what I mean is, these words should never come out of your mouth when you start thinking strategically and doing your vision. And that is, like, I love how you're sitting up straight for this one. You're ready to hear it. I worked hard. I worked hard and I reached my goals. Do not say that, because what's going to happen is you're creating hard work. You're going to make it hard. Like, who wants to make it hard?
Oh my goodness, we've been manifesting hard work, guys.
I know! Don't manifest hard work.
Oh no.
I know you're a hard worker. It's why you're an entrepreneur. It's why you've gotten to be as successful as you have been so far. Don't ask for it. It's the same thing about, like, praying for patience. Never pray for patience. Ever. Ever. These are like red X kinds of things. Don't let them come out of your mouth. Don't think them.
Wait, I got 4 kids, Nettie. I don't pray for patience.
No, it's a daily practice in patience in your house, I'm sure.
It is.
I'm with you there. So just being really mindful of your word choice. If you want a business that runs with ease, then ask for it. Just like that. I have clients come to me with ease. Money flows to me with ease. I'm an abundant person. Like, I know these things are going to sound, for some of the folks listening here, really woo-woo, but just like I said in the last segment, your brain doesn't know the difference between what you're pretending and your reality. So if you pretend you're a hard worker, you'll get hard work. If you're pretending you're an abundant person, you'll get abundance. I kid you not, this happened to me yesterday. I was on with a client. We were talking about how she needed to get money for this one project, and she was considering how she might get money. And I swear to God, this is true. The doorbell rang. Someone showed up and wanted to buy the chairs on her porch that she had set out there for free and said, "Can I give you money for this?" This is in the can't make this stuff up category. And I probably wouldn't have even believed it myself about 4 years ago. But now I understand kind of how all of this works together. So just be mindful of those slippery slopes that you might be walking down. Number one, don't infuse hard work. Don't leave your vision to just a once a year kind of activity, and be sure to infuse emotion and feeling, like feel like the person. So if this takes dressing like the person or putting a picture, like, you know, if you imagine that in your future iteration of your business, you have a well-appointed office, it's probably time to go buy that new desk. Now, just buy the new desk, or a gorgeous picture that you would love to look at on your wall. This all impacts you moving towards your goals.
Okay. So this is actually something I've been personally struggling with, or personally, professionally struggling with for a little while. When I started my business, I was full-time. I was pregnant with our fourth child, and I know exactly what you're talking about here, because I visualized every day what it would be like when I was able to quit my job and run my business full time every single day. And I had a few people that I talked about it with every single day, and they were very critical to my support network, but they allowed me to get it out. And it was kind of, you know, just speaking it into the universe. And then I've gone through a phase in the last, I would say probably year or so, where unfortunately I kind of reached what I had been visualizing so hard. And then I was just kind of like, well, now what do I do? But
Yeah,
I guess the big
vision.
question I have is, how do we know that we have the right vision?
Ooh.
Like, I mean, I get not just focusing on like a dollar amount, like you said, but is it possible to have the wrong vision? Like, what if that, I don't know. I don't want to add too many layers to this question. So yeah, just how do we know that we have the right vision?
The only thing that I've ever seen happen is that you visualize too small.
Mm.
So in this case, the only outcome is that you might get more than you visualized.
That's true.
That's not a bad thing. So
No.
if you're concerned, there's no right or wrong here. Like, everyone's going to be okay. As I said, everyone comes out unscathed. No one gets harmed in the making of your movie, your vision, your life. So if you feel like you're not sure if it's the right vision, does it feel right? Like, I would actually trust your gut on this one. And are you excited by it? So you can plan and visualize super big. Like, you can take over the world, Ruthie, if you want to, if that's in your vision.
Well, I certainly visualized taking over the army while I was serving. That is true.
That's right. So there's no right vision. I would ask yourself too, why? Like, why is it that I'm questioning if this is the right vision? What is making me uncertain that this is the right direction for me? Is it because I'm scared? Is it because I have to learn something new? Is it outside of my comfort zone, or is it really too small? Am I envisioning a particular direction because I want it or somebody else? Like, just question, be curious is really, the only advice I would have here is be curious about it.
Okay. And I think that right there is going to be pretty valuable to a lot of people right now, just because we are faced with a lot of uncertainty. And yeah, you know, we're gonna have to work really hard to kind of stay out of those mental traps of manifesting, you know, hard work and trials and
Hmm.
tribulations. So I
Don't
think
worry, they'll
that
come
is,
anyway. You don't
they
have
sure will,
to
won't they?
pretend.
Won't they? And so we just got to make them not as, don't feed them with your mind, right? We got
Yeah,
to
yeah.
deal with them as they come, and when they come and they're gone, we're just not gonna, you know, labor over it anymore.